Welcome back to Dads, Deals, and Dumbbells, the podcast for entrepreneurial dads who are trying to keep their kids alive, businesses afloat, and maybe their bench press somewhat respectable. Not mine.
Hopefully above 225. We're hosts, Dr. Mitchell Quill, chiropractor, dad of 3 small kids. I run a busy chiropractic clinic by day, deal with diapers and soccer practices at night. The barbell is one of my closest friends, and before dawn workouts are how I stay sane.
I'm Joe, a lawyer by trade, who spends his evenings trying to get his kids to do an occasional chore by night. I know what a barbell is. I'm just not as favorable on such things as Dr. Quill. But joining us today in the studio is a certified coach dad.
Yeah, Chad Vargo joins us, a compliance guru by day, Naperville Dad Network founder by night, and avid CrossFit athlete who might outlift both of us.
We're talking dad fails, youth sports, fitness after 30. And what it really means to build a community as a father. So let's jump into it here. Now, before we get into introducing you, Chad, Mitch and I, let's catch up a little bit here. Let's talk wins and fails of this past week. Give me a fail.
Fails, my 4-year-old. Well, the kids are starting school soon. My 4-year-old likes to do the whole temper tantrum by like falling on herself like in the middle of the floor anywhere we are. So this morning, we were doing some back to school shopping. In the middle of the crosswalk at Target, she was like just dropped in the middle of the cross, like in the middle of the intersection with like cars all around. I'm like, I had the bags. I had my other 5-year-old saying, "Dad, Dad, Dad." I'm like, this is bad. So
you're running the zone defense in the parking lot.
Oh, it was bad. Yeah. So that's my fail. Luckily, I'm strong enough I can just grab her by one hand, and just like hold her,
carry her in like a bag of garbage.
Basically, yeah. It's great. But it was around like 11 o'clock in the morning, so it was right around lunchtime. Like I didn't prepare and bring snacks, so that's another fail. Didn't have enough snacks. I'm like, all right, forget it. We're not going to Costco. We're just going straight for lunch. Like, we need food. Your blood sugar's tanking. This is bad. It was all bad.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you can say it now. But,
well, I have to say, I don't miss the toddler fails at all. I really don't.
I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know how to get her to not keep doing that. But like that's her just default, just flop.
Yeah. Well, good luck. It'll get better. I can promise that.
Yeah.
One of my fails for the week is with my teenager who decided last year that she wanted to work for me and a couple of the properties I own. And, I haven't made our children do a whole lot of chores, and that's my own fault. I alluded to that earlier. They're good kids. But last year she decided she didn't want to do the job she was doing, and I wanted her to do something for work. And she says, "Dad, can I help you with the lawn stuff at the properties?" I said, "Sure." And so she's been the one maintaining the property where my office is and then the rental properties we have as well. And I've noticed over the past few weeks that all the mulch flower beds have been taken over by weeds and ground growth and so forth. And I've repeatedly asked her to work on it and so forth. I'm making absolutely no progress whatsoever. So literally today, my wife was at my office and she's like, "What's going on over here?" I was like, "Yeah, that's my fail as a father. I've not impressed upon my daughter and employee enough yet, and she's got to work on that." So
good luck with that. So what are the wins though? That you finally came to terms that you're a bad father boss?
Yeah, well, I knew going in that wasn't going to be the best. In terms of wins, kids are back at school, and knock on wood, drama-free. I don't know that I really contributed to that, but I'm going to take it as a win.
They started last Thursday, right? Or no?
Started last Thursday.
Last Thursday?
Last Thursday.
Mine are tomorrow, so hopefully we'll see if I have any wins tomorrow.
Yeah,
and like get off
with you.
Yeah, easy transition to school. We'll see, because it's going to be rough. Yeah.
Period of change for sure.
And transitions at that age are rough.
So,
So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Well, with those highs and lows covered, let's bring in our guest here.
So this week's guest, Chad Vargo, CrossFit junkie, father of 2 kids, ages 9 and 6, who covers the bills by working at as a program manager in compliance for a large tech company. The founder of Naperville Dad Network, recently featured on was it Fox News for men's mental health, right?
Men's mental health month. Yep.
Started that in 2017.
Yeah, Chad, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
We like to access the depths of our guests' knowledge and have them start by giving us a dad hack. You got anything for us today?
Yeah, dad hacks. I'm all about deals. Oddly enough, my son and I were at Dick's Sporting Goods the other week, and I was kind of stalking out the baseball equipment section, and my son likes to look at all the equipment, the newest bats. He'd buy them all if he could. But this dad was buying a bat and a new glove for his kid, which I learned later, he's playing travel ball for the first time up in Arlington Heights. But
That's expensive.
Yes.
And time consuming.
Yes. So I asked him, I said, well, do you know about the Dick's 20% off coupons that come out? Like, you can use them on anything in the store. It doesn't even have to be sporting equipment. You could buy a Yeti cooler if you wanted. And he said no. So I pulled it up for him, and he took a picture of my phone, and he probably thought I was nuts. But then when he went to the register and it worked, and he came back and he said, I want to buy you a coffee. I'm like, that's all right, no problem. And
There's a little bit of a finder's fee on that.
Yeah.
Nice.
So educate me. Is there just always a standing coupon from Dick's that we're talking about?
Different sporting teams in the area will have 20% off coupons for a period of time. So you'll have to look it up. Use caution if you type in Dick's on Facebook or Twitter.
I learned that the hard way in like 7th grade.
Yes. So use caution. But a lot of the travel groups on Facebook or even Twitter and others will post their coupons, and it'll say from this date to this date. And sometimes it gives specific stores. Sometimes it's for all stores. But you can walk in there and you could buy yourself running shoes if you wanted to, and get 20% off. It works.
Or a Yeti cooler.
Or a Yeti cooler.
That could definitely be helpful.
Dad hack on the Yeti
boxes.
cooler.
So what's the dad hack on entering in to search for Dick's Sporting Goods?
For me, I go on the Chicago Travel Baseball Facebook group usually, and they always post them in there. Or there's a specific group on Facebook for Dick's Sporting Goods coupons.
So these sports teams are working with Dick's in order to get the coupon, and then they share with. The idea is they normally share with their group of people.
Yeah,
but anybody can use it.
Anybody can go on there and use
solid
it.
Dad hack.
Yeah, because otherwise you're paying full price in there, and those
Is it
things.
specific to baseball teams?
No, you could use it on football equipment. If you wanted to buy a canoe, I'm sure that would work. A bike, whatever. As long as the dates are valid and, it doesn't say at this specific store and you're at a different store, it should work fine. Yeah.
So we should start a canoe team, too.
Canoe team. Dad canoe team.
Yeah,
Canoe team.
definitely.
It's a great idea.
Yes.
All right, Chad, let's jump into it here. Your nickname that you gave us on your dad stats is Coach Chad.
Yeah, I guess, or bro, depending on who's talking to me.
Bro.
My son's friends call me bro a lot.
Is that a generational thing?
I think it's generational. Yeah, that's
bro or girl.
Yeah,
girl comes out a lot too. It doesn't matter if you're a guy or girl.
Like talking to if I'm we're talking.
Yeah.
I can call you girl.
Yeah, it's happened. I will tell you this dates me, of course, as well. I have a young associate who just got her license recently, and today she's telling me about a case, and we're talking over what she needs to go back and talk to the client about. She says three or four initials to me. I don't have a clue what the hell she's talking about. She's talking in text, and I didn't have a clue. So I was like, wait a minute, hang on. What did you say?
What did she say? Do you remember?
Oh, it was something like...
It wasn't like LOL, like the old school ones?
To make a long story short, I think. But it was abbreviated or something like that. I don't even remember, to be honest.
She verbally said TLS?
She literally said whatever the initials were. And she keeps going. I put my hand up. I go, what did you say? And she says it. And I go, I'm sorry. What does that mean? And she looked at me with a dead stare. And she's like, I don't know. What are you talking about?
This wasn't on my board exam, bar exam.
I don't know what the initials mean. She tells me. I was like, okay. And then she starts to describe it to me. I was like, no. I got it now. I just didn't know what the initials were.
I know what long means or short.
Yeah. That's a generational thing.
Do you know what
between all of us, I think.
IMO or was IOM? In my opinion.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. If someone says that to me too, I'm gonna have the same blank stare. I'm gonna be like, what?
Or like shaking
you put
my
it in
head.
Text, I'll probably get it.
Yeah.
So, Coach Chad, you're coaching what ages?
I've coached my son's soccer team through the years and some of his baseball and basketball, and now he's moving on to the higher level of competition. So
travel.
Coach Dad is not the best coach, probably.
Been outskilled.
He's yes. So it's more of the professional coaches now, and he plays at M14 in Aurora, which is a good basketball program. And he does travel baseball now too with the Sparks.
What's his favorite go-to right now? Or is he gonna? Are you trying to specialize or no? Or
no? I mean, I've thought about that, and I kind of look into that online a lot. And a lot of athletes say not to specialize in one thing. Some Some parents will do that, like the kid's only going to play baseball and that's it, which is great, but then they probably burn out, by the time they're 12 to 13. They're like, hey, Dad, I don't want to play baseball.
It's a bad move, yeah.
Yeah.
We had another guest on earlier this season that also said something similar about not pigeonholing him in one sport.
Yeah, he's a coach, too, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't do it.
Yeah. So varied movements in different sports is probably better for you health-wise in the long run and just skill-wise.
I will say this, and Mitch has coached kids, and I've coached my kids as well. It is something for fathers who have not done it. I would say do it unequivocally. It doesn't matter if you have any experience doing it or not, especially at the young ages. I mean, sometimes it's herding cats out on the soccer field. You know that.
Coaching 4-year-old soccer was hilarious and annoying all at the same time.
Right.
Yeah. Half the time I was like, hey, just run to the what was it, the goal? Run to the goal, act like a helicopter and like spin. Yeah. Like they loved it. Yeah. They weren't playing soccer at all and they didn't care. The parents behind me, I didn't care if they laughed or not. I'm like, at me or with me, like, doesn't matter.
Kids are having a good time. You can spend time with your kids.
Yeah.
And if you don't know anything about the sport, there's YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a kid back in the 80s, my dad coached our soccer teams, and he never played soccer before. He bought a book.
Same.
He read the book, and he was like the prolific coach in our town, which was absurd because he never played before.
Did he at least cite his sources?
No, he made things up as he went along. I mean, he was a lawyer, and he would make things up as he'd go along. But people bought it, and
fake it till you make it.
Yeah, I mean, it was youth soccer, right? Which takes a lot of time. So
it does,
credit, right?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, 4-year-old soccer was rough. So, what's your favorite sport to coach?
I like baseball, so baseball is always my favorite to coach or help with. So I get to do some of that with his travel team, but they have a dedicated coaching staff. So.
Do they actively tell you like, "Hey, Coach Dad, just be Dad now"?
Yeah, you watch, you don't say anything.
Yeah. Keep your mouth shut. Don't coach the kid when he's on the base.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Run. Now, when we did your dad stats, there was something in here that I think you put down about an infamous washing machine fail story.
Oh yeah. That's when my son was first born, maybe the first few years. I don't know if he was 2 or 3 at the time, but we had gone to the store and I was bringing groceries in, and then I set him up on top of the washing machine because he's right in our laundry room, and I was kind of holding him with one hand, and I tried to take my jacket off, and I turned, and then he just went right on the ground. And he fell like a cat on all fours, so he was just fine. He didn't even react, really. And if you don't react and they don't react, everything's fine. So
that was the best thing to learn or to try.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
So we don't put babies on washing machines.
No.
Is that frowned upon?
It's frowned upon, not recommended.
I learned a valuable story once walking into a Dunkin' Donuts on a windy day with my daughter. She was probably 3 or 4. And, she's just the height where the handle is. And I start to open the door, and the wind grabs a hold of it, and it smacks her right in the middle of the forehead, and she goes back into the parking lot. She was stunned. I was stunned. I took the day off and watched her at home in case she had a concussion.
Yeah.
She was okay. She was okay. But I screwed that one up.
Didn't ask for the, what was it, the security camera footage?
No.
That'd be hilarious.
I felt terrible. I still feel bad about it.
Oh, yeah, no. I've done that a couple times. But yeah, we had Addie, my oldest, jumped off the second stairs, and then started I was freaking out on the hardwood floor too. And she looked at me directly about how she should act. I'm like, hey, let's do it again. She's like, okay. It's like, let's go higher. I was just trying to get her not to be scared.
Freaked out.
Scared.
Start crying. Yeah.
It works.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It does work.
Well, good for you. I'm glad the washing machine didn't turn out to be something more substantial.
It was, it was bad, but not that bad.
Yeah. So
any other worse ones?
No, I think that's it. Other than that, it's.
You don't think it's enough?
I was gonna say that's pretty good, but wasn't sure if there's any other dad fails, but that's okay. I was trying to make myself feel better. Yeah, we've done some bad things.
My typical dad fail is going to the store when my wife asks for specific things. I get some of those things, and then other stuff.
You too?
She didn't ask for, and then I come home without the one thing she remembered to ask for.
Do you even make a list too and forget stuff that's on the list?
Yes, or I'll lose the list on the way to the store, or I'll leave it at home.
Text list.
Text lists are good.
It doesn't work. It still doesn't work.
Sometimes that doesn't work.
No, I take a picture. We have it written on the was it the fridge? with a whiteboard written on there, I'll still forget stuff. Because the problem is then I can't, like, if I get the item, I can't, like, take it off the picture. But I guess now on the iPhone, I could just, like, redline it off the list.
This is your
I
problem?
just solved this issue right now. Thanks.
There you go.
Good. I'm glad we're solving problems.
I'm just glad I'm not the only one that goes to the grocery store, forgets the list,
Oh,
or forgets
no.
stuff that's on the list.
Not at all.
That's typical for me. Yes.
I thought it was just me.
No, I'm spoiled in that my wife does most of the grocery shopping, and whenever I have to go, or she's out of town traveling or something, and I have to go, I just despise it. And I used to work at a grocery store, so I used to know where everything was. Now I can't find my way around.
Instacart,
Yes,
very helpful.
full believer in ordering and having it delivered.
Although you don't get the Costco rewards on it. We learned that the hard
You
way.
don't?
Nope.
Huh.
Yep. That sucked.
Interesting.
Oh well.
Let's shift gears here. You've got a T-shirt on, a little branding for the Facebook group. Tell us about the Naperville Dad Network.
So the Naperville Dad Network, I formed and started that in 2017. At the time, my son was a year old. I did the daddy boot camp at Edward Hospital, where he was born, and my daughter was born there as well later. But in terms of like a group or connecting with new dads, like we work and there's other things going on, and moms are busy as well, and so there wasn't really anything out there. So I put it out there on Facebook and see if anybody would join, and then sure enough, the first 10 people came, and then the next 10 dads, and several hundred and thousand later, we have over 3,000 dads now, and climbing up to almost 4,000. So
Jeez.
That started back in 2017.
2017, yeah. So it's grown really, really well, just word of mouth. We don't really, there's no advertising other than people that know about it and tell other dads, But
So what kind of information is shared there?
well, for dads, it's always usually when stuff breaks. That's a very common problem. Or, hey, I have this issue. Is there a contractor out there that somebody's worked with to fix it, or landscaper, or whatever it might be? There's other things out there too, of sporting events and youth sports, and car issues and all kinds of stuff. So it really covers the full gamut. So
With the storms recently, have there been a bunch of uptick in those requests for like tree people?
yes,
Yeah,
yeah, a lot
actually, I'm
of
seeing it.
tree fallen trees, branches, and getting people out there to take care of that.
Hopefully
so,
not too many sump pump repairs.
Yes,
One of the
hopefully.
really nice parts about a group like that is you've got local dads who are making local recommendations.
Yes.
Right?
Mhm.
So like plumber, electrician, general contractor, those are people, when you have someone else who's got experience working with someone, it's a huge, huge thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a nice piece to have.
Yeah.
For sure.
And it's all, like you said, locally sourced by people that actually use the contractor, right? Not like some advertisement on Yelp or somebody that paid more money to show up first in a Google search.
Mm-hmm.
So you can, have some more credibility to who you're hiring.
Or for that matter, a list that people can screw with, like Better Business Bureau.
Right.
That's something
Yeah.
you pay to belong to, and then there's, it's not really an unfiltered view.
Right.
Or Angie's List, same kind of thing. I mean, it's
Really?
all of these organizations have their own vetting processes, and the idea with all of them is that it's supposed to be something that's supposed to be credible, and they are in certain ways. But at the same time,
There's ways to kind of get around those
there's ways
rules.
to get around it, and there's people that aren't on it. My firm's been in business since 2007. We've never been part of BBB. I have no desire to be.
Do you ever get any people like, "Oh, you're not part of that business"? I'm
Never,
gonna
not
say it."
once.
No.
I've had clients call us who have said, I'm complaining about somebody, and I'm going to complain to the BBB. And my basic response is, if
Don't waste your time.
they care about the BBB membership, maybe, but you pay to belong to it. 20 years ago, I think it was worth a lot more than now that the internet has so many resources and Google reviews and so forth.
It's kind of like being kicked out of Yellow Pages.
Yeah. I mean, it still serves a purpose, and I'm sure that somebody out there swears by it and will tell me I'm an idiot. It's just all of these different referral services, they'll function a little differently. Getting a referral from a local dad who's used somebody, there's a lot of value.
Yeah,
to
it's
that.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
Yep.
better for our business if we can we get recommended on like a lot of the local pages, but we also work our butts off to be at top of the page on Google and everything like that too
Yeah.
for marketing. So it's nice to get it like from both because it just increases our ability.
And
in
that's
that.
an excellent point for businesses out there. I mean, it's not relying on one referral source is never a great
No.
plan.
No.
right? Because something happens at that referral source, and all of a sudden you're out. Probably one of the most timely referral kinds of things that a good way to tank it is, I don't know if you followed this stuff. I've just only seen it on TikTok. Hazel's Marie's out in, I think it's the East Coast somewhere. It's like an ice cream shop.
Okay.
You haven't followed this at all?
Uh-uh.
It's wound up on my TikTok. It's an ice cream shop. It's had a ton of attention. They do a lot of social media. It's been very, very successful. Well, they had a young girl and I think her grandmother there about a week ago, and they had this table that they were using for people to eat off of. But it was really like a hallway table. It wasn't meant to be a table for people to, eat off of. This young girl, probably like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old, trying to get behind the table and to get up on the seat, and she pushes it over on accident and falls over and breaks. And, depending upon which story you believe, the shop told the grandmother that she couldn't leave, or the mother that she couldn't leave until she paid for the table, like $1,200 or something like that. I don't know how much of it's true, how much of it's not true. But it doesn't really matter because social media has just taken it and gone with it. And then there have been so many negative Google reviews that have been done by people who probably have never even been to the shop before. They're just trying to completely take this place down, whether it's right or wrong.
Wow.
My point is that a local referral from someone who's had a good experience with the provider
Goes a long way.
Goes a long way.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Hopefully no broken tables.
And hopefully no broken tables.
Jeez.
Yeah. Within that group, it's not just referrals, though. There's also a mental health side of it that got you onto Fox News, as I understand.
Yes. Yeah.
Or Fox, I should say.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's periodic check-ins we do just to see, who's out there and, what can we do to help. Some people have gone through like job loss and are looking to kind of get back on their feet and seeing if there's anybody locally that's hiring. There's been cases of dads coming forward saying their child is being bullied at school. And one of our members owns a jiu-jitsu gym in Aurora, and he offered to have the child go for free classes, to make sure that they knew, how to defend themselves should it come to that. So just a community of people trying to help one another. It's no sense of trying to do it yourself, right? So, I mean, everybody's greater with more people, right, than trying to go through it by yourself. So, it's been pretty successful.
Nice. Are you guys posting just like a general post, like on the group, like when you or one of your other admin guys, like just posting, hey, how's everyone doing? Or
yeah.
How's that work?
Yeah. We'll reach out, periodically on there and just see what comes our way. Some people message us privately and tell us what they're going through, or some people will share right there on the post itself. But it's a good way again to make connections and see if we can help somebody.
I mean, I don't know if I've noticed that a lot of those, I don't know, those like kind of like personal posts.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes in other pages that they're usually anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
Are some of those anonymous on the page, or are people actually posting on their personal
They post,
personal ones?
yeah. It's not anonymous. We removed that just to.
You got rid of that feature?
Yeah, just to make things, because people were posting things anonymously that were, not appropriate. So,
Not kosher.
So,
Well, the interesting thing about that,
I didn't know
of
you
course,
could do that.
for
you
the
can,
group,
yes.
Yeah, for the group admins, they can still see who it is.
yes.
Ooh.
So I know who everybody is.
There's a group here in Bolingbrook where you see a lot of anonymous stuff, and it's almost always ugly and
Yep.
and
Oh, yeah.
it's like a shield. Now, I think there are certain situations where it'd be really helpful, right? I mean, somebody's having a moment where they're being vulnerable and they're asking a question because maybe the kid's getting bullied and they don't want the whole world to know.
Yep.
I see there being value to that, but I think a lot of the stuff that people post is just downright nasty.
Oh, yeah.
Hide behind the shield of anonymity.
Yep.
Yeah,
So,
those
yeah.
Facebook pages are rough.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a feature. So what advice do you have for people trying to start a community-based Facebook group? Ins and outs, things you learned in the past.
Yeah, I mean, things I've
7
learned in
years.
the past, so when dads come to join, we have a couple of screening questions just to keep out the bots and the spammers.
The moms.
Right, and the moms. So the first question is, are you a dad? That, would only apply to dads. And then it asks, how many children you have if you live in the local area. So we're not asking, for any
No
calculus
social security numbers.
related questions,
No.
or we're not asking that.
Within your group, do you screen those questions and then say yes or no? Because some
Mm-hmm.
pages just have you ask the questions.
And then
You don't have to answer them, and you're automatically on.
Yeah, there's automatic deny if you don't answer the questions, correctly. If you're not a dad and the answer is no, then it's kind of a no on the spot. So
nice. So is that you going through them, or do you have like an AI thing that's doing it, or
a little
admin?
both? We have a screening process, and then we have a number of admins that help screen those people. And some business pages will try to join to kind of spam us with their business, and we do every month have a business related post on the 8th of the month where businesses can then, shout out their own
stuff,
shout out their own business. And it's always fine if somebody says, "Hey, I need tree service. Who should I use?
Sure,
I need this and that. I need a lawyer. I need a chiropractor." That's always fine, but it's the what used to
here's
be
my special, this one.
Yeah.
So then on the recently there was one about a guy. It seems like he was advertising for TRT, I think, but he didn't say like, "Oh, talk to me about TRT." I think he was just trying to start a conversation, but it sounded like he was trying to like sell something. I don't care, but I actually commented on it. I was like, "I've been debating on doing this," but he didn't actually say like, "Oh, go to this place or come see me." So
right.
The dads out there talking in text, TRT stands for. I know this one.
testosterone replacement therapy,
There you go.
or HRT, which is hormone replacement therapy.
Yep.
So
Yep.
within warranted reasons and all the medical things, yes.
Yes.
Which
That's a whole topic for another show.
yeah,
Mhm.
Sal wants to be back on and talk about it too.
There you go.
Yeah, he does. He messaged me like yesterday. He's like, "When I come back on again?" I was like, "Yeah, let's talk about it."
Well, let's jump back for a second to your youth sports.
Yeah.
Any top lessons you learned from kids?
I always
or from
tell,
coaching as a general?
I always tell my son to be a good player, be a better teammate, right? So you got to build up your teammates. Not everybody's going to have the same skill. Not everybody, practices like he's in the driveway shooting hoops, 7 days a week. That's like what he does.
Nice.
He'll play sports all day long if you let him. It's just how he's wired. Some kids play video games and do other things.
Yeah,
He's never done that since, the day he was born. That's just not how he is, which is fine. But I always tell him, again, to be a great teammate and, show others the right example, right, for those that may not be as skilled or playing correctly. They look to you to be the example.
So then with all the practice in the driveway, he's got the basketball hoop. Do you guys, since he does baseball too, do you have a batting cage in the garage too?
We have a net that he hits into,
Nice.
and then we'll go to a field and, he'll just hit balls. I'll throw them to him. And
Does his sister get involved with it too?
she does. She started with soccer, and it seems like running's not really her thing, which is fine.
So baseball is perfect, or softball?
Baseball or softball is perfect. Not a lot of running. So she's done t-ball, and since she's only 6, she's taken to gymnastics and dance
nice.
and more of that, which she enjoys. So,
Nice. Can she do a back handspring yet?
yeah, and she's like almost near the floor on a split and stuff, and
Wow.
my son can't even, touch his
his
feet. That's two greatly, different, sets of skills between the both of them.
A lot of dads out there that can't touch their toes. So-
Yeah.
I know.
yeah.
I was trying to teach a 13-year-old yesterday like how to touch her toes. She couldn't do it. I couldn't.
it's
I
funny,
couldn't get a hold of it.
There's an attorney that works with me who her son is an incredible runner, incredible soccer player, can't touch his toes.
There's some things about that. Yeah,
He's a great athlete.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's a different kind of movement though, because like part of it is like part of it's like bracing your core, or learning how to like work with like stabilize your lumbar spine, because you'll have irritation along the nerve roots that exit there that go down your legs, and it actually causes neurological tension, where it doesn't shorten the hamstring, but it makes the hamstrings contract, so they don't actually lengthen. So that's part of it. It's not everything, but that's part of it. That's why I was trying to teach this girl yesterday, a patient of mine. She has scoliosis too. I was like, hey, try doing this, try doing that. And she's a 13-year-old girl. I was like, this is weird. I'm like, well, forget it. We'll see you next week. I've tried. Moving on. So
Understandable. Well,
she's one of those kids that just like gives me shit the whole day, like
Yeah.
the whole appointment. And her parents are sitting right there. And I'm just like, all right, fine. I'll give you some stuff back.
All right, so now be honest, Mitch. when you're working on that patient,
Uh-huh.
13 or 33, who's really annoying you, when you go to adjust them, do you really enjoy cracking the shit out of them?
No, I don't. I verbally give them shit back. I verbally she'll make fun of like football or rugby or being a chiropractor, and I know she's a Swiftie, so I'll just make fun of Taylor Swift, and usually that shuts her up.
Oh, okay, no aggression on the table.
No,
I got it.
no, just passive aggressive comments
Fair.
to a 13-year-old.
They love that.
There you go.
Well, so Chad, let's talk about your activity. So I understand that you were into CrossFit.
Yeah.
So I've never done CrossFit. Mitch, I know, has. Tell us what CrossFit is.
It's a highly varied set of movements at a high intensity, right? So they incorporate a lot of Olympic barbell movements, right, into, again, high intensity training. A lot of gymnastics movements with pull-ups, muscle-ups, ring muscle up, those types of things. I mean, half of it I can't do, right? I'm 40 years old. I accepted the fact that I'm not, probably going to get a muscle up. That's okay. But the nice thing is you can scale it to your ability, I think, is the most important part. And, if you can't lift as much weight as the next person, it really doesn't matter. It's still a win if you complete the workout and you sweat and you get better. That's really what it's about. It's not about beating anybody.
What do you typically see in there in terms of demographics? Are we talking about a lot of dads in their 40s, or is it younger, older, a mix?
Yeah, it's a mix. There's a lot of dads. There's some people that are, much older than I am, and they kick my ass at the workouts,
Yes.
And some of those ladies are extremely strong and, can do things that I would never be able to do.
How long have you been doing it?
I started for a couple years before my son was born in like 2014. Did it for like 2 years and then stopped once he was born. And then once my daughter was born in 19, I started to pick it back up again. So in total, probably 4 or 5 years at this point. Yeah.
What got you into it in the first place?
Well, for me, I like, a mindless workout, meaning I don't want to go into, Planet Fitness or, Lifetime and be like, okay, well, now what am I going to do today?
You don't want to program it out yourself.
Yeah. Like,
I did that was awesome.
Yeah, and this is something that I think a lot of people who don't know anything about CrossFit may not understand.
Yeah.
When you do CrossFit, you go to a CrossFit class, or what do they call them?
It's a gym. They call it class, yeah.
Yeah.
It's usually in a warehouse.
But there's a set time that you go, right?
Yeah, it's scheduled. It's scheduled.
So for those of us who don't do CrossFit, so it's you have a schedule, a time, you go maybe 6 p.m. and you're going to do CrossFit between 6 p.m. and something, and it's led by an instructor.
It's about an hour, usually
Yes.
between 6 and 7.
Mm-hmm.
Usually they run every hour or half hour or something like that, depending on the size of the gym. Like when I was in Schaumburg, they could have like 2 or 3 CrossFit classes going at once.
Oh, wow.
So it was like 3:30, 4 o'clock, then like a 4:30, then a 5, then a 5 o'clock, and then maybe like one last class at 7. But then the cool thing for me, it was great because it would start at either like 5 a.m. or 5:30. I'm used to working out in the morning, so it was great to just kind of show up, not to think about it, like you're half asleep, and then do the warm up, do the workout. Usually there's like a strength component to it, and then they do like some sort of skill that you're trying to work on, and then they call it the WOD, the workout of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on
WOD.
the WOD,
It's
another acronym.
Another acronym.
Yeah.
Another acronym, workout of the day. But you gotta be in the CrossFit space to kind of know that one.
Yeah.
But and then usually it's some form of conditioning where there's an RX component, which is like the recommended weight, and then there's always a scale or RX plus, which is usually like, say the RX weight's 135, and you got some crazy dude that's really good or really strong or got great endurance, they'll do like 185 or 155. And then they'll have like a scaled recommendation. Usually it goes to like 95 pounds, or if you can't do the scaled workout, to the barbell. Like it really doesn't, like it's infinitely scalable, which is nice. If you have a really good CrossFit gym and a really good CrossFit coach, like you could work out for years and not have a problem. The problem, like what would get me is the actual competing portion, where it's like, okay, that guy next to me, even though I've never talked to that guy, I'm going to beat him. I don't care. And then you post your workout, and then there are rankings depending on this. So depending on like the gym, they had Wodify, which is like their software, like their EHR, or their version. And then you like enter in your scores, and then, or the number of reps you would do or rounds, and then they would like rank them out at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's interesting. So, if you've never been on Peloton, have you?
yeah.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
All right. You've been on Peloton?
Yeah.
All right. So I find this really kind of fascinating. There's the competitive element in getting ranked and getting points and so forth. really drives a lot of people. So
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and it does me when I do the Peloton during the winter. I suspect that's probably a motivating factor for people. They want to see where they're going to be positioned next
Yeah.
to their neighbor.
That's part of it.
Yeah.
Because you go from one gym and you're like, oh, I'm constantly at the top of this one, and then you go like drop in at another gym and like you're at the bottom. You're like, well, I suck. Never mind. I don't want to do this anymore. But
Yeah.
that sometimes
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah, I do that on the Peloton. The only other time where I see myself really competing against somebody else randomly is in the pool, swimming laps. And I secretly compete.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's hard not to
The
get.
lane next to me doesn't know they're competing.
You're dangling the carrot that no one else can see. Yeah, it does help get through things though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So basically, though, it sounds like CrossFit is something that you don't have to be. Well, I mean, when I think of CrossFit, I think of somebody who's very fit, who's very active, who's doing the HIIT workouts.
Mm-hmm.
Is it for somebody who's, who wants to be mobile, but they're not, top
Yeah.
of their game?
Yeah. There's people that are in their 70s that do it. No problem. They just scale accordingly and, to meet their need, and they can do the exact same workout or a variation thereof of what everybody else is doing.
yeah, I've seen them. They'll sub pull-ups for just a banded pull down. So you put a band on the rig, and then you put a PVC pipe through the band, and you just pull that way.
Yep.
If you can't squat, you do box squats, or sit to a chair, sit back up. So there are like you can do, and most of the gyms too, they offer like one-on-one training or like a basics class, or they even just had depending on what the demand is, they'll have a scaled class, and then they'll have an RX class. Or if you're looking to compete, like depending on the gym, back in the day when they had the CrossFit gyms and they still had like the CrossFit games that had regionals, so each gym would have a team, and like that team of people, they'd have a class for that team, and people would kind of try out to be in that class. Usually it was someone younger that had some sort of athletic background. Gymnastics is a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Like the top guys back in the day, Matt Fraser was an Olympic lifter.
Mm-hmm.
And he would talk about how, like with Olympic lifting, he was really strong, but he couldn't walk up a flight of stairs without being winded. So he was like, okay, this is
Right.
So people, and then the cool thing with CrossFit too, like you can kind of get deep in the weeds of like, what's the definition of fitness? Like, is a kipping pull up where you do the swinging pull up, right? Where they're kind of just cycling through, like they look like they're flopping around like a dead fish or like a fish out of water.
Mm-hmm.
I took the class. I was a CrossFit coach, so like they had this like formula of like work, like, and it's like a physics formula of like work and force times acceleration and all this other stuff, like the definition of like the physics work. And like, oh well, yeah, you're moving your body this many times through space this quickly, like you are doing. You're strong, but if you talk to like the gymnastics people that are doing like those iron crosses and holding themselves like that's completely different kind of strength and fitness. And
Yeah.
depending, again, in the fitness industry, people are just going to start debating and arguing. It's like another Facebook group, right?
Yeah.
It's just kind of fun to think about it. Are you able to do a kipping pull up?
I can do a kipping pull-up. Yes, I can.
Nice. Then the question is, how many strict pull ups can you do?
About one.
One?
Yes.
Okay.
But
Cool.
I also, I realize I'm 200 pounds and, it's, I'm not, I don't have elite strength. So,
Mm-hmm.
Those types of movements, I can only get a few usually.
What's your favorite workout? If you could program your own CrossFit workout, what would you do?
Favorite workout I did yesterday in the garage, I did Annie, which is a series of jump rope and sit-ups. So good cardio and
50,
and
40,
core.
20, 10.
Yep.
Or is that one build up or go down?
It goes down.
Down,
So
okay.
descending. Yep.
Yep.
My barbell movement of choice is the clean and jerk. I like the split jerk.
Nice.
But
What's your max?
what's my max?
Start to compete.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Just curious.
It's probably not that. I don't know. I can only like clean up till about 165.
That's good. It's respectable.
Yeah. So I'm just looking for,
For a
to do
40-year-old
it.
dad staying in shape,
Yeah.
that is all you need to do.
Yeah. Yep.
Perfect.
Yes.
So when do you squeeze your workouts in? Is there a normal time?
Probably a psycho. I do it at 5:30 in the morning. So,
Perfect.
Psycho.
We're all
Sounds
psychos
very
then.
familiar.
yep.
Very
So
familiar.
yeah.
It's a real challenge for a lot of dads to be able to schedule a workout,
Yeah.
especially when your kids are small.
Yep.
Mhm.
Even when they're getting older, teenagers or middle school kids or what have you.
Yeah.
Or they have their after school activities.
Yep. So I figure if I don't attack it, in the beginning of the day in those early hours, like it just gets pushed back, and there's always something that will fill that time, So I try to get in there at the first class in the morning and do it that way. It's done for the day, and when you're done, it feels great. Waking up, it sucks, right? There's nothing great about it,
Yeah.
but after you're done, you have like a feeling of accomplishment.
Well, the other piece with putting it off, at least this is true for myself, if I'm going to try to work out in the afternoon or in the evening, you've had a long day, you've done a lot of stuff, you got a lot of reasons to be like, you know what, I've had a long day, I'm just not going to do it.
Yep.
You knock it out in the morning, it's already done.
Yep.
Everything else is open.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So let's talk about on the professional ends of things. I understand that you are in compliance at a major tech company. What does that mean?
Yeah, so I do environmental health and safety compliance. So a lot of people know what OSHA is, right? Department of Labor. So I work for a tech company. I do that type of work. So regulatory compliance in the data center space. So everything is run from the cloud now, right? And people often wonder, what is the cloud,
I was
right?
going to say, what's the cloud?
The cloud is...
Besides the rain system.
Yeah, it's a series of data centers connected together, right, to make that, those regional networks and things like that. So there's obviously, it's like any other business. You have to comply with, OSHA requirements, the EPA, all of those, right? So that's really our license to operate, is following those requirements. And that's what I do. I ensure that we are doing those things and, being good stewards in the communities where we operate, because data centers is a buzzword. It's either warehouses that are being built by Amazon and others, or data centers, and Meta and Google and all these other companies have data centers. Apple, everything is run from a data center.
So are you in person or remote?
I do a little bit of both. I mean, technically on the books, I'm a remote worker, but I do go to different data centers around the country and, do work on different projects.
Do you have to do like surprise inspections and all that stuff?
We don't do surprise inspections just because of the security parameters that are in place. You can't just walk up to a data center and go in. There's
I hope not.
There's very strict security protocols. Many layers of security.
It's not all cat memes on the data centers, just like sitting in the cloud.
Some cat memes. There's other data, financial data, and all this other stuff that's highly protected.
All my credit card information.
Yes, we have it, and we can use it against you if we need to.
I'm sure. I'm sure. But then, so I might question on that one. Then, like, what's the EPA have to do with a data center? Because to me, it's just a different kind of warehouse with a bunch of tech stuff in it.
Yeah. So I mean,
so what is the EPA concerned about?
So there could be air permitting. Data centers run on, they need a lot of power. And what happens when you don't have power? You need to have backup power. So a lot of that is generators, right? Diesel generators. Sometimes it may be other sources of fuel. Batteries are becoming more popular, right? Once a battery's dead, you can't just throw it in the river, right? You have to dispose of those correctly. So all those environmental guidelines are in place, and we need to make sure that we are abiding by those requirements.
Is there any issues with, like, I'm assuming with the data center then too, do they overheat? Do they get hot? Do you have to worry about like cooling them off?
Cooling's huge. So we need to make sure there's power, and we need to make sure there's cooling. Those are two critical components. Servers that, are in the data center, they run 24/7. They don't shut off, right? So in order to keep them running that way, they have to be climate controlled. Humidity needs to be at a certain level, and all of that to ensure that they're running at optimal performance, again, 24/7.
Oh, wow. I had no idea.
Yep.
So not the reason we had you on the show today, but I'm going to ask the question anyway.
Sure.
I keep hearing all these blurbs in the news and reading all these things about all the servers that run the AI and how much energy it takes and so forth. I'm assuming that somewhere within whatever company you work for, there's some element of that where everything keeps expanding very quickly. And so these challenges get bigger and bigger. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. I mean, with the explosion of AI and how it's kind of taken us kind of by storm, technology is being deployed very rapidly and developed very rapidly. So there are power considerations, more power, more cooling for AI racks, because again, they're harvesting more data, right? We want to make sure if you're generating the cat memes that you have the most optimal experience
Better
possible.
be the best cat meme ever. Crisp sound, great picture, not grainy at all.
Yes. So yeah, a lot of that is something we have to deal with. The AI racks, they run hotter, they're louder. So there's a bunch of things that we're working on to make sure that, we're not impacting people that have to go in there and work. And then also the environmental component and more of just the, in the data center itself, right? It's hotter, it's louder. How do we control that? And again, ensure it's a 24/7 operation. The reliability of a data center is 99.969s after that. So that's how, reliable they are. They don't shut off.
Wow.
Sounds like job security to me.
Yeah.
It's funny. I've had that.
Unless that 9.9 or 99.9 goes to 99.8, then you're.
Well, then you got a problem. I keep having this conversation with my daughter. She's very much an artist, and I have repeatedly created things with AI, right? She hates it. Absolutely hates it. I keep saying... And,
you're cheating.
Well, I absolutely am cheating.
You're being creative in a different form.
Right?
Yeah,
My resources.
of course.
Anyway, I keep telling her, I think that with what's happened with AI is you're going to see a shift in the workforce. You're still going to have people that are going to have jobs. It might be different jobs. It's creating other jobs.
Yes.
Is that what you're seeing too?
I think so. I think even I was talking to somebody about academics, and it's easy now to say I need a 1,000 word paper on
data centers.
on data centers, and seconds later you have it, right, with sources and all this stuff. The thing I think is unfortunate with that is people aren't like doing reviews of the material they're receiving, right?
They're taking it as the gospel, right?
Yeah. So that's why like prompt engineering is such a thing now. You have to ask the right questions. You have to ask the right follow-up questions. Yep. And you may need to tweak things based on what you see in the result, whether it's a picture of some art or it's a paper of some kind. But I think ultimately, like you said, AI is going to contribute to a shift in different jobs. And then in the academics, it's going to force different skill, right? No longer is it important to write a paper, a 100-page paper. That doesn't matter. We can do it in seconds, right? Now it's more, can you explain that to somebody, right? So presenting to somebody, talking to a group of people, right? I think that's what we need to train the younger generation on, rather than, using technology to spit out a paper that we know they didn't write. That
for your kids
no
then,
value.
Your kids at 9 years old, are they even aware of AI at the moment?
My son talked to me about ChatGPT last year when his teacher used it for something, and he was trying to explain it to me, and he's like, "Oh yeah, it does this," and and I'm like, "Okay, watch this," and I showed him something, and yeah, he was like, "Wow."
Just take him to school real quick, put his teacher to shame.
Show you how this works.
Yeah.
Jesus. So why are the data centers different? Like louder? You said the data, like the AI data centers were a little bit different than the normal ones. They're louder. Mm-hmm. Like, what's the difference between the processing?
The servers. So they're running faster, harder, right? Fan speed is higher, right?
Okay.
So you get that like high pitched fan sound, right? And some of these servers and in the rack, right? So a rack is probably 7-8 feet tall or so, right? And there's servers in there, right? As many as that can fit. Mm-hmm. As many as there's power for. And so with that, you have all these little fans going, and you add all those together inside a room where you have this massive cooling system and all of that. It can be...
So it's like a million little beehives.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can see, noise levels that are...
Couple decibels high.
Yeah.
So the people that work in there, they have to have like headphones in, ear protection?
Yeah, hearing protection is required when we have folks in there because of, just that high-pitched sound. And it's constant. It doesn't shut off.
Are the foam earbuds enough, or they have to have the over-the-ears?
Some people have those. Some people in certain situations will do that plus a muff over to provide more protection in instances where the row may be louder depending on what's running there. So it really depends.
Sounds like compliance is going to be a solid field for you for foreseeable future.
A very long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
We could go for hours.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Before we jump over to Quill's Corner and get some tips from the doctor, anything else you want to add in terms of either the Naperville Dad Network or your experience as a dad? Anything we haven't covered? Any key points?
Yeah, I mean, I think just key points are, there's no specific handbook for being a parent, a dad, even, a mom, any type of parent. There's no, specific guidebook on how to do it. Everybody's experience will be slightly different. If you can take from other experiences and use those for your own parenting, I think that's a win, right? Use successes from others to make yourself better. In terms of youth sports, it's great. It's good watching kids learn, and some of the games that we all played and love and watch, professional on TV. But at some point, parents have to just take a step back and not, argue with the umpires and the referees of out calls. And maybe it was, a ball that was called a third strike and the team lost the game. Like, there's other, things in the world, we don't have to waste time arguing about that. So try to enjoy it is what I would say. It gets really competitive quickly, and, you lose the kind of the touch for the game. Again, it's a child's game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't wind up on YouTube or TikTok.
Yeah.
Don't go viral for the wrong reasons.
Getting thrown out of a game, yeah.
That'll stay in that dirt. That data center will be open for the rest of your life.
It will. Yes, it will.
Yeah, that's good advice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's jump over to Quill's Corner here, Mitch, for those dads who only have a vague idea about what CrossFit is, and now we've piqued their interest.
Yeah.
You got any pointers on Quill's Corner or do's or don'ts for someone looking to get into it?
Tons. So, yeah, if you need more detail, just contact me. But the biggest thing is when you kind of go, if you're just a dad going from the couch trying to go into one of those types of deals, mobility is the biggest problem. So it's not necessarily a lack of strength. You're not going to have any mobility. You can't move through those full ranges of motion. The knock on CrossFit right now is that just you don't need to be doing some of those functional, quote unquote, functional movements. A good gym should have a basic screening process of like, hey, can you bring your arms overhead in this position? Can you squat in a certain position without any assistance?
You're doing this before you work out?
Yes, you should do that before you work out. A good gym would kind of run you through those things and just go, okay, your ankles aren't as mobile here, so we're going to modify there. Like your hips don't work here. You can't brace your core properly, so you're going to have a hard time squatting and deadlifting. And if you can't do that without fatigue, like if you're just kind of walking in and doing it cold, right? Hey, do a squat now, and you can't brace your core, like you're going to have a bad time if you're trying to do that under fatigue. So if you're doing the WOD, the workout, and say it's a 10-minute AMRAP or whatever.
Another acronym.
Yes, as many rounds as possible. Or they call them chippers, where they just say, hey, here's these tasks. Try and complete them as long as you can, as much as you can. Sometimes it's impossible, and there'll be a time cap. Like you're never going to be working more than 15 minutes, even though you have to do 1,000 different things. So it's kind of nice. But if you can't if you can't brace your core normally, you're sure as hell not going to be able to do that when you're tired. And that's kind of the knock on that too. So your form will go to crap real quick. And that's where the competitiveness comes in. That's where it's nice when you have a baseline with like those Wodify apps. You can increase your baseline as you go. But it's just, you want to be careful with those types of things. Just the most important thing is increasing mobility. The strength will come. People want to be able to, it's cool to squat like 300 pounds or power clean 315 or deadlift 400 pounds. Like that's really cool. But people like to jump the gun and try and get there too quickly, and you don't have the proper baseline first. So get the basics, then add in.
Got it. Very good. Yeah. All right, so let's talk about some big takeaways from today's interview with Coach Chad. A couple things I've written down here. Look for the deals. Carry the coupons.
Got to have the deals.
Oh, I love the coupons.
Coupon Dad can't be 20% savings on stuff you're going to be buying anyway. That's fantastic.
Yep.
Coach your kids if given the opportunity. Don't wind up on the YouTube reel for making a dumb decision while you're coaching your kids. Careful putting your kids on top of the washing machine. That might not go as well as you think. Start a Facebook group. Have qualifying questions.
Yep.
So you can vet those people.
No duck cleaning.
And it didn't happen overnight. You started in 2017, so it's been a minute, so to speak.
Yeah.
Give CrossFit a chance, and even if you're not the most fit father around, there's a way to adjust it for you.
Oh yeah.
And the last one I wrote down here was there's no handbook to being a dad.
Nope.
Absolutely not.
Couldn't have said it better. Chad, where can people find you and connect with the Naperville Dad Network?
Yep. The Dad Network is on Facebook. Just search for Naperville Dad Network, and we're there. Answer the screening questions, please, and join us, and we'll more than happy to have you. So we tend to do some social gatherings and things like that.
How often are you guys doing those?
We try to do them as frequently as possible. It's sometimes hard with, kids' activities and family and work and all those things. But we had one recently. We'll try to do another one. Fantasy football season's coming up, so hopefully we'll get together at some point and watch a game here coming up soon.
For the dads out there, I recommend going to those events. I went.
Oh, you made it?
Yeah, I made it out. Some pizza, a couple drinks. I got to meet a couple of their dads. Funny enough, and this is how my business works. I wound up getting a phone call from one of them last week for referral on a case.
Nice.
So that wasn't the point of why I went, but
right.
Nice side effects.
It's a great side effect. Yeah, 100%. So that's a wrap on this episode of Dads, Deals, and Dumbbells. Big thanks to you, Chad, for joining us here today for today's show.
If you enjoyed today's episode, subscribe, drop us a review, share it with another dad who's working on his armbar, on his power clean and jerks, and his patience. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and pretty much wherever you get your podcasts.
Check out the Naperville Dad Network. If you live in another community and you don't have such a resource, feel free to steal the idea.
Yeah.
Just put that out there.
More the merrier.
Even contact Chad. He might give you a few more pointers other than what he shared with us here on the show today.
Absolutely.
Because we fellow dads can always use a little bit of help. And the community can really pitch in.
Yeah, it's easy just to ask.
Yep.
Until next time, lift heavy, love your kids, and close those deals.